podcast number 2 with Rosi. Hello, Rosi.
Hi.
What brings you to Maverick and Bracelets today?
So I met the owner.
Check that out, huh? That doesn't happen every day.
Yeah, it doesn't. And I didn't know who he was. And I was actually dragging everyone over. We were at Daytona Truck Show. And I was dragging in people from, come sign our truck. We had one of our trucks. We were letting people sign the show.
That was a genius move, though, by the way. That was really incredible, yeah.
That was fun. And so then I saw this, distinguished looking man. And I was like, oh, okay, this is somebody.
But she's not even on payroll when she's saying that.
Like, this is somebody, but he's probably somebody's somebody. So I went up and I said, hey, you going to sign our truck? And he looked at me for a minute. He says, yeah, I'll sign the truck. So I said, okay, we got to get this on camera. Again, I didn't know who this was, but I was like, this is going to pay off for me later because he's got to be somebody. And so we got it, and then he says, this is Rami with Renegade Products, and I says, tell us who you are, and he says, I'm going to sign the truck. So he put his name on the truck, and I don't know what he said to Kevin afterwards. But I guess Kevin, he said something to Kevin. He wanted to hire me. He asked who I was.
That's not what I said to Kevin.
Kevin, we both established Kevin's a liar. Just kidding.
Yeah, Kevin's a cool dude. I really like Kevin a lot. But honestly, I'll tell you the story about Kevin. I really wasn't even sure about Kevin to begin with. Okay. Like, that was maybe my second or third interaction with Kevin. The first time I met Kevin, I was a little concerned about the relationship because, last year's Flogfest, and we'll be at Flogfest again this year, but last year's Flogfest, he had one of our competitors there. And I wasn't sure kind of what the dynamics were because I didn't want to I don't want to be a home wrecker, and, get in the middle of something that's going on. But and he was actually very gracious and said, yeah, we'd love to have you come out to Flogfest this coming year and, bring your team out and have a good time with us. And he was just actually a very nice, very gracious guy.
I love him.
Yeah, he's a really good dude. So we're looking forward to getting in with Flogfest and having a good time. Actually, we're sponsoring I don't know if you knew this or not, but we're sponsoring the Show and Shine this year.
Oh.
Did you know that?
I didn't actually.
So
that's amazing.
We'll be involved with the trophies, and actually we made a little kit to be passed out if you want to show the community that little Flogfest kit for those that win.
It's like a box of gold.
Yeah.
For real. It's got some weight to it.
You can use that for some of your pull-ups or something like that. So.
Kettlebell.
Yeah, kettlebell it. Yeah, there you go.
Multi-purpose.
But you're right, that was a genius move. So our first interaction with Rosi was at Daytona, and we were just roaming around, the girls and I, and doing what we normally do at the shows, trying to capture the media and doing some of the blogging and vlogging that we do. And it was just very outgoing, dynamic young lady just pulling us into her booth with Kevin almost against our will. Was that just a natural thing that you just that naturally Rosi? Is that how it is?
Yeah, it doesn't. You don't know what's your will and what's not your will. Once I come around, you want to be a part of whatever's going on.
Yeah, that's cool. Now, how many truck shows have you done? Was that your first one?
No, so I did SEMA in 2019 with Flog and Kevin, and
was Flog inside or outside? Were you inside or outside?
Inside. So we had a booth inside. Mm-hmm. We didn't have a truck in our booth, but we had a booth with the whole bumper, and we actually had a couple of us girls in our little outfits, and we had us girls with some rattle guns. And
what's a rattle gun? What does that mean?
I was just about to say, don't make fun of me if I don't know the right words for all these tools. I should. My dad's a mechanic, but I'm not my dad. But so we had a rattle gun. So it's like the little screw gun thing that has the bit that goes around.
Like a ratchet kind of?
The bolts,
okay. I see what you're saying. Okay.
So we had some of us girls, and we undid the bumper. Oh. And the ladies were doing it by ourselves. And people would gather around and watch us at SEMA because they're like, oh, this is crazy. These girls are installing bumpers. 2 girls installing a bumper. This is simple. So we took it off. We'd take it off because we had a little rig where we could put it on, screw it on, unscrew it, set it down, pull it off. And then we had a bunch of people asking us, is this bumper aluminum? Aluminium. Uh-huh. Because it seems so light.
But you do work out. That does help.
I work out a lot, yes. But the bumper was very simple to install. And it was pretty light. But no, it's mild still. It's a steel bumper.
Cool.
And it can take a hit. It can take pretty good hit.
That's awesome.
So just us, installing and taking it on and off. The girls doing it.
So CM19 was your first endeavor into
it. Was one of my first biggest ones.
Yeah.
I did do like Flog Fest, and I did some photo shoots with them, and they're such a great team.
Yeah.
I love Kevin. I love. Don't tell them I said that.
Yeah.
Go right to their head.
Flog Fest that's next weekend. So we'll hopefully we don't get too much of Rosie this weekend because we have to see her again next weekend.
Handle so much. There's only so much to go around.
Thank God there's a week in between.
Spread myself a little thin.
Definitely. We had to take a week off between Jeannie being here last week and Jeannie being here this week. So it's probably the same thing.
See if I can top that. I don't know.
So you will be actually not working with Flog next weekend. You'll be working as part of our team.
I'm going to be with Renegade Products at Flog Fest.
How about that? That'll be actually your first gig with us then officially.
Will be. And I'm beyond, I'm over the moon. I'm like, I have to stop and take like 10 deep breaths so
that's
I don't
awesome.
blow all
Thank
my
you.
faucets
I
at once.
appreciate that. Yeah.
Fuses at once.
Is that how we got on your radar? Basically, was it at the
Daytona? Yep. Well, I had followed. I wasn't following your page, I'll admit, but I was following Lacey Blair. I was following, and so I saw a lot of your guys' stuff on Lacey's page, and also I had tried some of your products. I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it was someone at Flog that had some cleaner or something. We tried it, and it took off the bug spots on my truck.
Oh, cool.
And I have to scrub like crazy to get those off, usually. And it took them off, and so it kind of stood out among some of the other stuff.
That's awesome. That's great. Okay, yeah, I know Lacey's been such a great partner and a good friend. She's turned us on to a lot of great other partners and friends.
I met her at SEMA. That's the first time I met her.
So how did you as far as Rosie herself, what do you like? What's your main gig when you're not flogging or renegading? What does Rosie do?
So a regular day for me, I'm an oral surgical assistant. That's my day job.
What's that mean?
So oral surgery, we drug people up and take away their body parts. Just kidding. No, we put people under anesthesia and we remove teeth. They're infected. We take out wisdom teeth. We give them back. We do implants. So we replace missing teeth. We also have done like facial reconstructive surgery.
That's heavy duty stuff, really. Wow.
Yeah, the surgeon I worked for was actually the team doctor for the Dixie State football team. So we saw a lot of football
injuries, probably.
Casualties,
yeah.
Wow. But it's a really interesting job. We also do pathology, removing growths and weird things like that. Those are the coolest ones to me, just because they're out of the ordinary.
That is kind of strange. So did you have to go to school for something like that?
I did do some schooling. I did, of course, the basic life support, advanced life support, what we call DANCE, which is dental anesthesia, where you learn about, cardiovascular system, the respiratory system, the drugs, the reversal meds, everything to do with pretty much putting someone under. Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's your world, basically. You're working in, is it a dentist's office? Is that what I'm thinking? Or what is that?
It's like dental, but the way I describe it when I'm telling someone the difference between dental and oral surgery is the dentist fixes teeth. So they do fillings, caps, or crowns, I should say. And dentists fix teeth, anything above the gum line. So an oral surgeon takes care of issues below the gum line, in the bone, in the nerves, in the jaw joints. Infected teeth that need taken out that have hooked roots, jaw cysts, anything.
That's some heavy duty stuff right there.
It's like the dentist plan B. So if the dentist doesn't know what to do with it, it comes to us.
Great. Okay, so that's basically your 9 to 5.
That's my day job, yeah.
Okay, and then just with Flog, then you'll just end up doing some of the shows, or?
Yeah, and we've done photo shoots to, market the bumpers. If they have a new model that comes out.
Kevin gonna be mad at me that we took you from Flog? What's the story there? It's
no, because he's not keeping me busy enough.
Don't want to be poaching my boy Kevin's stuff.
No, Kevin came up to me and he says, so, and I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth, but he said Renegade wanted to hire me. And he says, I think you should go for it.
You didn't pop up on my radar until we rolled into the Flog booth to sign Kevin's truck.
Yeah, because I didn't get out much, and I didn't do this. This is also very new for me. I mean, I did stuff for Flog and that type of thing, but
as in straight photo shoot type stuff.
Just taking photos with the new bumper that came out, or taking photos for posters for Flog Fest, just to market the event and that type of thing. But SEMA was like the first big show that I did.
Yeah, SEMA is a big show in general. And so how was that being on the dance floor at SEMA, interacting with everybody? Was it? I mean,
It
it's a
was,
very it could be a very chaotic, anxiety driven type
yeah.
of event.
And we did have like where we did have one time where one day we ran into a competitor and there was kind of like a little cat fight, you might say.
Get out, really?
A little bit.
No way.
So
as in
yeah,
like
another bumper maker.
On the SEMA floor, or you
On
guys
the SEMA
outside?
floor, yeah. So
No way.
some of us wearing flog shirts, some of us girls wearing, our flog gear, went down and we were just checking out some of the other booths and kind of interacting with other people.
Sure.
And we saw another bumper booth and I was like, ooh, that truck looks good. Let's get a picture by that one. And the guy come out and says, no, you can't get pictures with our truck wearing your flog gear because we're competitors.
I gotcha. Yeah.
Even though their model was talking to us and anyway, so there's kind of a little bit, and then he was like, you guys, get out of here, go back to your booth, like, don't come down here. He started being rude.
Wow.
Which to me is kind of surprising because I feel like even if you're a competitor, like, you should maintain some professionalism. But, and I'm not going to say names or anything, but, so there was a little bit of that, and it kind of gave me the exposure to, like, how real or how, the industry, there's not just the fun party.
Yeah. There's the fun and party aspect of it.
Side of it. There's also other things where you need to be careful. A lot of underlying politics that goes on sometimes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and you're right. I mean, it's by and large, I think most of the industry is even competitor to competitor are usually very cordial. Even my competitors, most of them will talk and exchange. Just pleasantries. Respect, at least.
And there are some that that's just it's just different with them. That's just kind of how it, I think, in every industry.
And cat fight's probably a big word. It's more like a mouse fight.
Yeah, no, I mean it's
like it wasn't like a fight. But
well, we have had some cat fights. But that's just kind of how it is sometimes. So you, I assuming, of course, after seeing us at the Daytona meet, there was. And I think I spoke to you. You called me like a couple of weeks later or something.
Yeah,
like
we
that.
exchanged numbers. Or Kevin says, "Hey, you should get with him. If he mentioned he wanted to hire you or connect with you and see if you wanted to." So then I took your number down.
Right.
And I think I called you a couple of days after we landed back in Utah.
Yeah, you were on it right away. It's like that kind of caught me off guard, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's like we're just recovering from Daytona, which is one of the larger and more involved shows, honestly, during the summer.
Yeah, and we drove a ways. I mean,
and I'm just like, bam! Like 2 days later, here's a call from Rosi, and that was much like when Jeannie approached us at Lone Star earlier in there and said, "Hi, I'm Jeannie," and introduced herself and wanted to establish a connection and a relationship, a professional relationship with us. I found that refreshing also on your part. Like, hey, I'm going to take the initiative, and here's what I want to do. Because initiative for me is very important. Because in our world, especially in social media in particular, because that's such an involved part of everything that we do. You have to be on your game. I mean, you have to basically have the initiative to create content, post, all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
What is it that you glean that we do? Like, why was that appealing to you? That like, here's what Renegade does, and like, and I said this in the podcast with Jeannie, and I'll probably say it in every single podcast. We're not all things to all people, nor are we for everybody.
Yes. So the first thing that attracted me to Renegade is the sense of like community or family, you might say. Like you came and you brought the girls, and everyone was like this little close-knit team. And it was like you guys were doing new things that I don't usually see other companies do. Like I said, like creating content.
A lot of people are just not into that for some reason.
And I was like, oh my gosh, these girls are getting paid to have fun. Like, I mean, they're working, they're doing, but
it's definitely designed to be a fun environment. This is
interesting, and they're like a little family. So that was one of the first things that attracted me to Renegade, was that I could be a part of something like that, where I would feel like I belong, but also creating something bigger, like bringing something new, as far as like using social media.
Do you feel now you haven't been on social media all that long, have you?
No, I
How
haven't.
long?
I have only been on the internet since 2017. I think I got
So
Instagram in 2017 or 18,
Rosie got
Facebook in
onto the internet
2019.
in 2017, and that's obviously to the audience out there. That's a very involved backstory that I mean we'll save for another podcast
That's
sometime
a
in the
whole nother
future.
story.
But you know, just briefly touch upon that so that you can just kind of like why 2007? Like, well, where were you? I mean, did you land from Venus or like what happened?
So I came in on, I fell from the sky. No kidding. So I grew up in a very sheltered, just a very sheltered environment, like the Amish. So we
Hmm.
didn't have connection with the outside world. We didn't have internet. We didn't watch the news. Homeschooled, made all of our own, cheese and eggs and ate out of the garden. I mean, we didn't make our own eggs. Chickens did that. We had the chickens, but we were, self, and we were like a little closed off community, closed off from the outside world. So we didn't have a lot of
Like very
exposure.
micromanaged, basically.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
and micromanaged where everything was managed by, the leadership and
Hmm.
that type of
And
situation.
then one day you said to yourself,
Well, I had a great childhood. I mean, it
hmm
was like a wholesome childhood where it was industrious. We ate very, very healthy.
"Is that why your
Very.
skin's so nice?"
I'm not wearing makeup. That's why my skin's so
Hmm.
just
So
kidding.
did you like one day decide, hey, there's like why would you leave that?
So because the older I got, of course, I started to question things.
Hmm. Oh,
Because
troublemaker, huh?
Well, in the best ways,
Oh,
yes.
all right.
In all
Yeah.
the best ways.
Famous last words. Okay.
Well, they're famous. No. So, yeah, I'd question things. The older I got, I just felt like my life was, and when I was a child, it was fine. Children need guidance. They need
Mhm.
routine. But the older I got, my life was kind of planned out for me. And it was almost like I had no say in my own destiny. And I started to question things. Like growing up, it was, you should have God's will in your life, no will of your own, that type of thing. And I was just like, well, then why did he give me a mind to question these things or decide for myself? Like, why do I have that ability if I'm not supposed to? And that was one of the first things. Like, I wanted to make my own way, and I was curious about the outside and what was out there.
So was that a just like black to white type thing? It was like you decided one day I'm out of here,
No,
or did
it
it
was
take a
kind
little
of a
while?
slow. So when I was younger, I questioned. I just, I questioned things, and I was curious about the outside. We knew it existed, of course, and because I did have like relatives that had broke away and family that broke away.
Okay, so there were others
There
had
were
left.
others who
Yeah.
had not as
Oh.
much back then. When someone left, it was almost like a tragedy. The whole community knew about it. It was like a funeral type thing. But
Even though they weren't dead, you would
Yeah.
sell the funeral for them.
well, they were dead to us because we no
Oh.
longer could associate or have anything to do with the people that broke away.
You were just basically an outcast at that point
Yes.
once you're gone.
And so, I had a few cousins and stuff, and like my aunt in New Jersey, she come back to the community one day and brought her kids and visited the grandparents
Hmm.
in the community. And even though that wasn't like permitted, some people, she'd come to visit and they allowed her to come in. And some people still did, they'd come visit and then they'd leave. But her kids had, Barbies and makeup and all these things that I wondered about, was curious, And then so I knew, of course, there was something on the outside, and I felt stuck. The older I got, I was 16, 17, 18. We couldn't date, we couldn't, marriages are all arranged, that type of thing. So the older I got, I just felt stuck. I felt like there was no more in life for me there. There was no mystery. It was like, okay, I'm going to be assigned or married to some guy. He could have other women. And I just wasn't okay with that. I was afraid of it.
You left your other environment in 2017.
Yeah, it was.
And so that's a pretty fast progression to get into something as advanced and as international as SEMA, of course, with Kevin and Nate. Now
Yes, through Vlog. So Vlog took
we
me.
understand how that happened. But 2019 to 2021, I mean, that's like the world has changed so dramatically for not just us on a micro level, but just everywhere. With the greater emphasis now being so much more on media.
Meetings all went to Zoom and everything was
Right.
online.
So what's your planning? Like, how do you plan on participating in that, just that more, just logarithmically scaled world of media? Like, what's your personal take on it?
So I feel like if we want to stay on top of the world's changing. It's all going into
Sure.
media. We know that. To stay ahead of it and stay on top of it, we need to utilize that. So, before it was just for like people keeping in touch or it was all about. But on a business scale, like I think utilizing social media for businesses
Sure.
is
So
good.
you understand where we're going. That's what brings you out to California this weekend with us, is to basically continue your growth in that environment and in that media.
Yep.
And I think you see the value of it. And that's, I think, one of the things that I found interesting about you is not only your sheer willingness to pick up a phone. I know it's an old style type of term, and call me and say, hey, how can I get involved? And still keep pressing it to the point of like, okay, here we are, we're going to do this. And, I really didn't even think that we're going to do Flog together. But, Flog for me was, I didn't want to say no to Kevin. Honestly, he's just
Yeah.
such a cool dude and such a nice guy.
It's so hard to say no to
Yeah,
Kevin.
when he said, hey, I'd like you guys to come. And I'm like,
just that face alone.
yeah, I'm like, yeah. It's like, I can't say no. It's like, I can't. Nate, I'll say no to any day.
Oh.
But Kevin.
That's because Nate's a brat. We all know Nate's a brat. Just kidding.
Anyway, so we're looking forward to a great time next week and seeing you again. And for you, those who don't know, although Rosi will be with us during the day, helping us out at the booth and doing media with us, she is also a singer in a band. So she'll be performing next Saturday evening. Tell us a little bit about that before we close out. Why the singing career?
So if I could have a career that of my own choosing, where someone said, "Okay, choose something," and it's going to happen for you.
Other than being with Renegade, of course.
Other than
Of course.
So I would do music. I would be a singer, and because music to me has always been like my escape, especially
It's
back.
therapeutic, huh?
Yes, I could get my guitar, I could sneak away, and I could be whoever I wanted to through music. I could
Oh, so
write
you
my
play
own.
you're also an.
Yeah, I play guitar.
You play guitar, okay.
And I took piano lessons for a couple years as a child. I took violin lessons.
Mm.
But I self-taught guitar, and music was an escape. I could live through music, even though I kind of felt...
Do you write any of your own original?
Yeah.
Are you doing any of that next Saturday?
We're going to sing 2 songs with the band that I wrote
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
on Saturday.
Is the rest of it cover?
Most of it, some of them are also originals that the band wrote. So
Okay.
the band was a band for 5 years before I come along. I've only
Uh-huh.
been with them since March or
Mhm.
February of this year.
So they've got some originals. You've got a couple
Yeah.
originals. Do you guys do any cover tunes at all?
Yeah, we do covers.
What's your favorite?
Mostly
what genre? What type of stuff do you guys
Rock, 80s rock.
do? Classic,
rock.
more like classic.
Yeah,
classic-
kind of classic rock, some metal-ish.
What's the favorite classic rock song that you guys do the cover of?
I really love singing Sweet Child of Mine.
Oh, okay,
That's
yeah,
a
Guns
good
N'
one.
Roses for sure.
And not very many people cover it with a female vocal. So that's a
Yeah.
little bit interesting. It's different, and a lot of people like to hear it. Some people are like, oh, that's a guy song. It should be sung by a guy.
Yeah, I like different stuff.
I like to prove
I was
'em wrong.
once listening. I was at a club once, and they had a live band, and these guys looked like, I don't know if you know Alice in Chains.
Oh, okay.
They looked like Alice in Chains, and they opened up their set with an Earth, Wind, and Fire song.
Okay.
Let's Groove Tonight, and it was just so different. It was just a
Yeah.
crazy scene. Yeah, I really like that. So different stuff is really.
So
the way to go.
we cover 80s, mostly 80s rock music, but we do it differently. So we've done Metallica song,
Mm-hmm.
Nothing Else Matters, but we do our own cover, our own version where we do like male and female vocals together.
Like duet,
And we
a
kind of
duet?
harmonize and
Uh-huh.
duet it. Yeah, so we bring kind of a different, I guess, twist to them.
All right, cool. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna wrap it up. Any final things you wanna? Any final insults? I always give my guest the
Final
final
insult.
insult if you're into that. But if not, then
I will take any insults.
we'll have to save that for part 2. But thank you for being here this weekend. I guess we're going
Recondition
to have a good time. Stay tuned, everybody, even though you're not going to see it afterwards. But we'll also look forward to having some fun at Flogfest next week as well.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having us, and thanks for listening, guys, so much. Really, thanks for.
I got to listen to that.
Thanks for if you're listening to this right now.
This is just the beginning of it for me.
Thanks for sitting through that.
Yeah. Some questions for Rosi. What's the craziest or most out of character thing you've ever done? Like, what's the craziest thing you've ever done? Narrow it down to like one. I know you got that look where you got some sense of craziness.
Yeah. I'm like, why do you want the list? Dang, you put me on the spot, and now my brain's like,
poof.
It happens. I don't know. So I used to, we'd sneak off because I lived in Colorado City. We'd sneak off. We'd drive down to Hurricane, and like 2 a.m, 3 a.m, we'd go to motels, and we'd climb over the fence and swim in the pools. That was fun.
Epic.
It's not the craziest thing that I've done, but that was fun, and it was a little crazy.
Here's one from a call-in listener. I'm just joking. Okay, so you are obviously a very talented, appears, and we'll put those words to the test. Talented singer and artist. We'll see that next week, and we'll give you our own review.
Well, it depends on who you ask.
We'll
but yes,
see
I'll
about
take the
that.
credit.
Yeah. Okay. You ain't no Mariah Carey, obviously, but we'll see. All right. Now, if you could have any talent in the world, what would it be?
Any talent in the world?
Any talent in the world. Like, you're talking like, you want to be like superhero type talent, or
If I could hear people's thoughts, I think that would be a curse and a blessing.
That would be definitely a curse.
But
sure.
Well, with some people, I would, you'd just be like a hostage in their head.
God, yeah.
But for sure, I feel like it would give me some insight.
Definitely.
Or it would be like eavesdropping, and you'd be like, it's never good.
Yeah. Biggest
But that would be cool.
peeve. Biggest pet peeve. What turns you off?
Peeve. People chewing with their mouth open, which is crazy because it's a pet peeve of mine. But you know what? My boyfriend stops me a lot and is like, stop talking with food in your mouth. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just talking. No matter what else is going on, the talking is happening.
I think you're just a natural talker. It's just nonstop, huh?
So, yeah. If there's food in there, I apologize.
Our favorite question, is, and you got a boyfriend, but like, what's your favorite type of dude? Cut hard abs or the dad bod type?
None of that really matters as long as he's real. If he's real and he's always real and honest with me, but I mean, everybody loves abs. Okay, fine.
Dad bod it is.
But hey, I'll take the dad bod if he's real. If the guy with abs is like prima donna, cocky asshole, no, I'm out.
You're out.
The abs aren't worth it.
Last question. Although you're at the beginning of our friendship and partnership, do you have a favorite memory of Renegade so far, year to date, half year to date?
Yes.
What?
Dragging Rami up to sign the truck when I had no idea who he was. I probably wouldn't have been so loud and so. I mean, if I would have known who you were, I probably wouldn't have treated you so.
Now you're making it sound like I'm a celebrity or something. It's just Rami signing a truck.
Exactly, it was just Rami signing a truck. But I think I would have been like a little more respectful, not so casual and so loud. But
oh no, that's my recommendation to you.
I think that's.
My recommendation to you is just be yourself.
Yes.
Because that was the part that I found refreshing and appealing. Is like there's this firecracker doing her thing.
But see, I usually try to show like respect that I feel like is due until I get to know that person, and then they can understand my sense of humor, and then we can start with the banter.
It was original. It was authentic. That's the part that was the best part about it, to be honest with you. And that's why we put it in the clip. That just was fun.
Yeah. I have a little video on my phone. I recorded on my phone of you signing the truck. It's fun.
All right. Well, thank you, Rosi. We will look forward to doing some more fun things with you later this weekend. And everybody stay tuned for that, I guess. Anything else, Mr. Harris?
No, that's it.
All right.
Okay.
It's a wrap.
Thanks for having me.